Hello everybody. This is April the 20th, 2021, and I am in my woods again. I want to get on today because I heard something yesterday. I was watching a video yesterday of a man that was talking about Morgellons and targeted individuals. And he was being interviewed by somebody. I don't even remember who it was that was interviewing, but I heard him say that once they get it, there's nothing they can do about it. They're stuck with it. Once you get Morgellons, you're stuck with it. There's nothing you can do to get rid of it. There's nothing you can do. Once they get control of your body and they get control of your brain, that's it. It's done. They're all at the hands, at the mercy of the evil ones. Well, to a certain extent, that's true. I mean, Morgellons is something that you don't ever get rid of, okay? It stays with you, that's for sure. But he is wrong when he says there's nothing they can do, because there's a lot that you can do to remove the Morgellons from the body and from the brain. Now, I got videos about this, and I've talked about this, about removing the Morgellons, so most of y'all know how to do that. But the one thing that really kind of got me was him saying that this voice to skull stuff, this V2K, you know, where they take control of your brain, he said that's an old military torture program, you know, that's been around like forever, and they use it for the prisoners to torture. Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they still do, and I'm sure that's probably where it came from. Now they're using it on civilians. Well, he said, and there's absolutely nothing that the person can do. Once they have control of your brain, you are at their mercy. In other words, they have complete control over your mind, your body, everything. And he says, when they get you, they torture you until you're dead. Okay, that's what he said. And I know what he's saying is true, because that is what they do. Okay, they do torture you, and they try to kill you. A lot of people they do kill, they end up forcing people to commit suicide because they can't handle it. But for him to say that there's absolutely nothing that they can do about it, that is not true. I disagree with that 100%. And let me tell you what I mean. Now, we already know what you can do for Morgellons, okay? You can remove the Morgellons from the body. And I'm not going to go into that because everybody knows that how and what we use to remove the Morgellons. But what he failed to mention is that in order for them to take control of your brain, seize control of your brain and control you, the Morgellons / nanotechnology, same thing, has to be stabilized in the body. Okay, it has to be in the body, in place, in order for them to really do anything. They can't take control of your brain unless your brain is saturated with this Morgellons or this nanotechnology. Because it's the nanotechnology, once it's in place, that responds or reacts to the frequencies that they're increasing every day, okay? So they have to have the Morgellons in place. They have to have it stabilized in the body. So that right there tells you that if you remove the Morgellons from the brain, okay, and look, you have to remove the Morgellons from the whole body, but the brain, to me, is going to be the most important place, because the brain is the control center for the whole body. So they have to get control of your brain in order to control your body. So Yes, you have to remove it from your whole body, but you're going to have to start with the head region. Remove it from the head region first, or, well, I say first, but you want to do it all at the same time. But your main focus is going to be on the scalp, because if you remove it from the scalp, then you remove the Morgellons from the scalp, then when the frequencies hit you, there's not going to be anything there to respond to them, okay? So there are several things you can do, and that's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you how to remove the Morgellons / nanotechnology from your brain, okay? Now, I know I've already been through this, and everybody knows how to remove it from the body, but we're focusing on the brain right now because he's stuck on this V2K, this voice of skull, being something that there's absolutely nothing that nobody can do about. And that is not true, okay? There's several things you can do. Number one, you can pray and make a connection with God, because I'm here to tell you, God is still on the scene. God is still alive, and he is still here to help us when we need him. All we got to do is learn how to make that connection with him. He is still here. That's number one, okay? That's the most important. Don't forget about God, because God, not only will he help you, he'll show you what to do. He will give you instructions. He will give you guidance and direction about what to do. And I know this because he's been doing it for me, okay? So number one, if you don't have a connection with God, make a connection with God and start praying, okay? That's number one. Number two, remove the Morgellons from the brain, okay? Like I said, I got videos about this, but there's several ways you can remove it from the brain, from the skull, the scalp. You can use the essential oils. Now, if you're going to use the essential oils, you're going to have to use something strong, because you want something that's going to penetrate the scalp. Something strong like thieves oil, or summer savory is strong, or it's not sage I'm thinking about. It's thyme. Thyme. If you get that red thyme, the red thyme is really, really strong. Let's see, what else? Myrrh. Myrrh is something that is really strong, but it's kind of thick, so it's going to stay on the scalp for a while. And frankincense. All of these are strong essential oils, and then there's more. There's a lot of more strong ones that I just can't think of them right now. But if you're going to use essential oils, get you some strong essential oils, and keep your head saturated with these essential oils all the time, especially if you have the voice of skull. Keep your head saturated all the time, because this will help pull the Morgellons out of the scalp, okay? Number two, if you don't want to use essential oils, you can use the vodka tonic. There is a man who has a recipe for a skin detox that you can rub on your scalp. You put it on your scalp and you leave it on there, and it's got vodka in it, okay? I think he probably uses some other kind of alcohol in there too. But I'm sure if you don't want to use vodka, you can use rum, or you can use scotch, or you can use whatever you got on hand. I'm sure any kind of alcohol will work. And he adds some other stuff into it, like magnesium, I think, and some kind of sodium. But you can mix up your own. You can mix up your own recipe with just whatever you have on hand, okay? So, you got the essential oils, you got the vodka, and then I heard somebody else say that omega-3 oil, or fish oils, and some other kind of oil he said, that you can rub that on your scalp, and he said that would help reduce the inflammation, okay? Now, let me say this. I never had the voice of skull. The whole time I had Morgellons, I never had voices in my head, or sounds or anything in my head like that. And I guess because I was treating my scalp so much, I treated my scalp every day. So that may be why I didn't have any voice of skull in my head during my Morgellons, during the beginning of my Morgellon years. But when I started getting hit in the ear with the lasers, which was started in 2020, back in 2020, when I started getting hit in the ear with the lasers, I did start having some V2K. I started having some rushing sounds, roaring sounds, crashing sounds, rolling sounds, all kind of, I could hear like, it seemed like people screaming in my head. I guess that's what you call the voice of skull, because I was having all kind of weird, strange noises in my head that was going off, okay? But this didn't start until after they started hitting me in the ears. When they started hitting my ears with the lasers, is when I started hearing this, okay? And he said, oh, there's nothing you can do. But there is something you can do, okay? So what I did, when I started having these sounds in my head, I started rubbing the essential oils on my scalp. Now, what happens when they hit you in the ears? When they hit you in the ears with these lasers, now sometimes they can hit you and you won't even know it. You won't feel it, you know, because I know sometimes when they hit me in the ears, I can be like sitting outside and my ears will just start itching a little bit. It'll just be a little bit itchy, or it might feel like wind's blowing through my ears, something like that. And I just been hit, okay? And I might start hearing some little sounds in my head. But when I start hearing them sounds in my head, that's how I know that I've been hit in the ear with a laser, okay? So you don't always know when you're being hit with these lasers. But then there's other times when they hit you with them when you know it. Okay, I've had them hit my ears so hard that it felt like I was hitting the ear with a rock. And that's painful. I mean, it put me down. I mean, they were hitting me big time with the heavy ones for a long time. But then, like I said, other times they're real subtle. You don't even know that they're hitting you with the lasers. It might, like I said, it might just be like a little itch. So if you feel your ears itching, then even slightly itching, then or hurting or ringing or anything going through your ears, they're hitting you with lasers, okay? Anyway, that's when the voice to skull started with me, when they started hitting my ears. So once they hit your ears and they get your eardrum vibrating, okay? Your eardrum starts vibrating inside your head, okay? And when the eardrum starts vibrating, that's when you start hearing all of the noises and all the strange sounds and all the voices and all. Because your ears and inside your head actually gets inflamed. Okay, it gets inflamed. It swells up. It gets inflamed. And once it gets inflamed, then you're activated. In other words, the people who are working behind the scenes and hitting you with the lasers, they have just activated your ears and inside your head, and so now they can control you. So you get activated when your eardrum starts vibrating or when your skull gets inflamed. You get activated, and that's how they can start using the frequencies around you, including the lasers, the cell towers, the satellites, the smartphones, the smart meters, everything, all your electrical devices, everything. They use all this around you, these frequencies around you, that the nanotechnology or the Morgellons in the body responds to. So, like, I'm going back to what I did now. So I knew that when I got hit in the ear, every time I got hit in the ear, I knew that they had just got my eardrum vibrating, okay? And I knew I was probably going to start hearing, it might just be like, just some snoring sounds or snorting sounds, or it might just be like a rolling or rushing sound in my ear, or it might just hear, sometimes it'll sound like, just like an ocean running in my ears. But it'll be like loud, okay? Then I know that they've been messing with my eardrum. So what I do is, first of all, I saturate my scalp with essential oils, and if I don't have essential oils, I will use the vodka, because I keep the vodka sometimes on hand. Now you can also use the Ken's Morgellons gel. This will work in the scalp. This will pull out the Morgellons. especially if you have the dirt added to it, okay? So there's lots of things that you can use to not only reduce the inflammation in the scalp, but to remove the Morgellons from the scalp. So if you've got the voice to skull, if you've got the voices in your head, and all the crazy sounds in your head, you've got to reduce the inflammation first, and then you've got to remove the Morgellons from the scalp, okay? That's two things you got to do first. Remove the Morgellons, which is, and this is an ongoing thing. You can't just go in there and soak one time and it be done. You got to keep it up, okay? As long as the frequencies are here, and as long as the frequencies are being increased, you got to keep up your treatments. So you got to keep the Morgellons out of the scalp, and you got to reduce the inflammation in the scalp if you get hit with the lasers or with the frequencies. And then number 3, you can use the magnets, okay? Probably the best thing that I have found as far as my ears are concerned, because, and let me say this, guys, the ears, to me it seems like the ears is the number one target. The ears and the head region is the number one target, because when they hit me with those lasers, they're always going for my ears, okay? They're always going for my ears. And it seems like that they can be so precise with these lasers, like, and I'm sure they've got a software system out there in a computer somewhere that's showing them how to do all this, but they can zero in on your ears to the point where they can get inside your ear, so they can get to your ears, okay? Real easy. And your head. And your chest. But it seems to me like the main target is the head area and the ears. So, like I said, with the magnets, you can take the magnet, if you're having the voice to skull, if you're having sound in your head, take the magnets. Get you some magnets, some strong magnets. If you got the small ones, you can tape them over the ears. You can tape them under the ears, under the earlobes, or you can tape them behind the ears. Tape them wherever you want to, wherever you feel like you need to. And you wear those over your ears until the sounds in your head go away, okay? Now you can do like I did. You can wear the small ones around during the daytime, and then at nighttime I got some bigger ones that I put down in inside the ears. I got a hat that's got ear flaps on it, and I just kind of cut the lining where the big ones would just slide right down into the ear flaps. And I wear the big ones at night, so because these big ones will help reduce, or it doesn't actually reduce it. It just deactivates. It will deactivate the nanotechnology in the ears, or the implants. But you have to wear them. I mean, you have to wear the magnets for a good while. I think I wore mine a couple of days before I actually saw any difference. But you got to wear them. You got to wear the magnets if you want to see. If you want to see the nanotechnology deactivated in your head. But anyway, this is what you do, okay? So don't let anybody tell you that there's nothing you can do, because there are things you can do, okay? Number 1, like I said, pray. Make a connection with God. Number 2, get the Morgellons out of the head. Get it out of the whole body, but get it out of the head first. Number 3, do the magnets. Use the magnets. The magnets work, okay? They will work, but you've got to wear them. So that's pretty much all I want to say today about the voice of skull, the Morgellons, because I felt like this guy either hasn't done his research or doesn't have Morgellons or voice of skull, or probably doesn't even know anybody close to him that has it, or he couldn't say what he's saying, because a lot of people who have these, they find a way, okay? People are experimenting on themselves, and they're using everything, and they're finding ways to reduce this nanotechnology in their bodies, and they're finding ways to remove this this Morgellons from the body. So for him to say that there's nothing they can do, that's not right. That's wrong, okay? I just want to make that clear. So don't let anybody tell you that there is nothing you can do if you've got Morgellons, or if you've got voice to skull, or if you're being targeted, because there is things you can do, okay? That's all for now, guys. I love you. Bye.